Hi everyone, it's been a while since I've made some videos here on and uploaded it to YouTube. So I want to say hello. Happy New Year to everyone. It's a fresh new beginning, I'm hoping, for a lot of us. Actually, yeah, it has been a lot of new starts and everything like that. People have been kind of some people from the past have been trying to reconnect with me. I'm not really budging much or responding to them. So how about I just make a video and tell them that, yes, I am going to return to Armenia, because people from, like I said, some people that moved to Russia or people that are still residing in Armenia are contacting me and asking me if I'm going to return to Armenia. I've said this a million times. I'm an Armenian citizen. I have a house in Armenia. I can't go very far, okay? I have to return back to my home. Armenia is my home. So the answer is yes, and I'm probably going to be in Jordan. And I'm most likely going to stay in Jordan until either the beginning of March or April. So let's just say until the springtime of this year. Okay, so there was talks about me going to Qatar, but I'm not going to go to Qatar because, as I've stated, I have to go back to Armenia, stay there at least for 6 months, and then I'm going to go traveling other countries again before this year is over, 2024. So here's another question that people are asking me, and they've been asking me this for the past maybe 4 or 5 months that I've been in Jordan and Aqaba in particular. And the question is, Talad, when you return back to Armenia, are you going to be wearing a hijab every day? And the answer to this question is, this is a hijab, right? The answer to this question is, of course I'm going to be wearing a hijab every day. The same way as I wear a hijab every day when I leave the house, even if I need to do some shopping, food shopping, grab a coffee, yes, I will. Again, the answer to this is yes. Of course, I'm going to be wearing a hijab every single day. It's part of my identity to be wearing a hijab as a Muslim woman, and also for my own security as well, because in Armenia, the men have absolutely no constraint when they're around me. Unfortunately, this is going to be a little direct and very in your face, but a lot of Armenian men, when they are around me, they start rubbing themselves. So the best form, and this is with me putting sunglasses on and dressing like this, for example, covering up. So I think it's best I wear a hijab. And you know, there was one particular person actually just before I left to come to Jordan, who was driving me to the airport, and he was literally rubbing his dick while he's driving me to the airport. And he was asking me why Muslim women wear hijabs. He's asking me, why do Muslim women cover up their God-given beauty? And the answer is because I told him, because men are marteyaga pushte. Men are basically pigs. And when I told him that, it doesn't translate, push doesn't translate to pig, though it kind of sounds similar. But that is, if you get really into it, that's what it basically symbolizes. And as soon as I said that, he stopped rubbing himself, okay? So me living in Aqaba, Jordan, I have never experienced a man, don't get me wrong, people come up to me, men come up to me, they start talking to me, they say marhaba, they say assalamu alaikum, they say hello, they say welcome to Jordan, they all know about me here. They stop their cars, they offer me rides, I don't engage. But nobody comes up to me and starts rubbing their penis the way they do in Armenia. Okay, so yes, the answer to this is I'm going to be wearing a hijab in Armenia. Here's another topic that I would like to bring up right now, because somebody was saying something on my YouTube channel about inviting me to accept Jesus in my heart. And this sounds like somebody who's not very familiar or aware of what is written in the Quran or what is in Islam, because in order to be a true Muslim, you must accept Jesus in your heart, because Jesus is a prophet in Islam. Okay, so for whoever left that comment, I am welcoming you to read the Quran. Okay, I'm welcoming you to listen to the Quran. You can go on Quran.com, and there's Arabic to English translation, and you can listen to the Quran. Okay, so may Allah guide you and open your heart to understanding and welcoming true guidance and righteousness and acceptance within you. There's another thing that people need to understand, is that Allah chooses his people. It's not me that chooses people. The only people I choose are the people that are in my circle. And that's because it's my personal life, okay? To keep matters up to date, not every single thing I experience and go through in life I talk about, despite appearances. I'm actually a very highly secretive person that only a very limited amount of people are aware of what goes on in my actual everyday life. But to keep you updated on something in particular, I literally had to put someone in prison like the 2nd of January of this year. So I'm not somebody anybody should be really messing around with, especially when it comes to my own dignity, when it comes to Islam, when it comes to my own safety and my own body. So not only did I, after 2 weeks of this person being in prison, I dropped the case, okay? And this guy was deported to Egypt, back to Egypt, where he's never allowed in Jordan ever again. And I'm sure in Egypt, because the rules for harassment in Egypt is even more strict than they are here. So you also have to understand that, again, I'm not somebody that messes around in terms of, when I do work, when it's about me, despite my appearance, despite what you see online or what you know of me, I can guarantee maybe 2%, 1%, 3% max of what you see is who I really am in a sense, okay? Because you don't really know people. You really don't. And as I've mentioned, I'm someone that takes laws very serious. I take my own personal law very serious. I take the Islamic laws very serious. I don't have to teach that to anybody. You just don't. There's laws. Okay, we'll just keep it at that. So when I'm firm in something, I'm firm in something, and it's going to be that way, okay? So in the future, whether I'm in Armenia or another country, you have to know what you're dealing up against. Just because I'm a woman, whether I'm alone or I have a group around me or I have someone around me or not, there's consequences to things that you think you're going to get away with or not get away with, okay? I don't just go and start messing around in people's lives or their homes or something, or, you know, harass them and expect to live a happy whatever life and get away with it. This is not the way the world operates. You literally have absolutely no idea how happy this entire neighborhood is that I've put this guy in prison and then sent to Egypt to never return ever again. The entire neighborhood is peaceful. So many other Egyptians and so many Jordanians and even Palestinians that live here and reside here have tried to put this guy in prison, have punched him, have fought him, and they could not succeed. So people are they're looking at me in a very high position right now, okay? Let's just keep it at that. It's not important. I don't need to get into detail. Allah knows. So that's it, okay? Again, I'm staying here probably until March or April, and then after that, I have to get back to work, my usual work. I have to work. I have to make a living. I work online. I'm a psychologist, but obviously I haven't been making the same amount of financial structure here because I'm near Israel. Anyways, I'm going to keep things very short. There have been people that have been asking me if I want to get involved in bringing people to Armenia to do tourism in Armenia as well. Because I've been, somewhat doing it here in Jordan, or was planning to do it here in Jordan. So we'll see what happens, okay? Because like I said, my life has been shifting in so many directions. It always is. And usually we need to choose based off what is suitable in our own personal lives in a clean, halal way, okay? Personally for me, like I said, I don't talk about everything. So I just want to keep you updated because I'm getting these messages of what's going on and so on and so forth. If I'm coming back to Armenia, the answer is yes. And I will always come back to Armenia, even if I live somewhere for 6 months every year or 2 years or 3 years or 10 years. The answer is yes. I will always come back to Armenia. Hayam yes. So in regards to the guy that went to prison, okay, if I had not dropped the case, he would have stayed in prison probably about 5 to 7 years, if not longer, probably 5 to 7 years. But now, because I dropped the case and they deported him to Egypt, he has high consequences over there, such as not being able to get a job, not being able to provide for his family, most likely him getting arrested over there. If he doesn't get arrested, everything is very restricted. He may not even be able to leave the country. Not my problem, right? He was warned multiple times. So, I mean, this is a warning to every single people watching me, you know, that I take my life serious. I take my life situations very serious. I take my body serious. I take the laws and the rules around me serious. And I take my religion very serious. Okay? I don't need you to believe in me. I really don't. So the next step, okay, after this is to translate this book from Arabic to Armenian and to send this to Armenia, because a lot of people need to read the Quran, as I've said this before in my other videos, okay? I'm not going to make you do it. I don't need to make you do it. It will go to those who want to expand their heart and live the path of righteousness. We are all sinners. We all make mistakes in life. I do it regularly. And I will never deny that, and I will never lie about that. Okay? This book, if I cannot do it myself personally, I will find ways and people who will be able to distribute the Arabic to distribute or have a distribution of Arabic translation to Armenian. Remember, Jesus, the prophet Jesus, is in the Quran, is highly revered in Islam, and so is Maryam, Mother Mary. There is an entire surah chapter on Maryam, Mother Mary. You need to be a true follower of Jesus within your heart, within your soul, in order to accept and welcome Islam into your heart and into your soul. And if you want any type of advice from me, I highly ask you to start by reading, listening to the Quran, and by starting to pray daily. Okay? It's on YouTube. You could find it.